Yes. Just look at me. I've been up in the mountains. Since the last time you saw me, I've been up there creating my little cabin and doing it. I've got to tell you, it's a real honor and privilege to be here for Stan Lee.
So when you guys first read the script, when you first auditioned, did you have any idea that early what you were in for?
Well, my story is obviously different than Eddie's because I actually read the script for the miniseries because I was auditioning for the part of Apollo that Jamie Bamber obviously got. Oh, there's no Jamie, but Jamie was going to be sitting right there. So I remember reading the script, and at some point I had a journal or in a notebook someplace. I wrote down that I think I just read the single best script for television I have ever read, or film ever. And I took note of it, and then, as time went by, Jamie got the part, and you fall out and you forget about it. And then a year and a half or so later, season 2 came along, and they asked me to come read for this character named Anders. And I was meant to show up for 2 episodes. Thank you. And surprisingly, 2 episodes became 3 seasons. So, thank you.
What about you?
This was an extraordinary experience. I was at another type of convention. It was I put on the Latino International Book and Family Festival. And it's a wonderful festival that's being held right this second at East LA College. I was there, and actually it was right here in this building. And I was walking around and they said, listen, this thing came in for you. And they brought it over to me, and it was a script. And I said, what is this? Well, it's Battlestar Galactica. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the midst of doing things right now. I really don't have time to do this. And my agents called and said, I think you should read this one. I said, well, I really can't. I'm working on things. They said, no, I think you should really read this one. And I said, oh, okay, I'll tell you in 2 seconds. I opened the book. Literally, I opened the book, and what there was 3 pages, the mission statement that Ronald Moore had written that preceded the reading of the script, and it told you how the story was going to unfold itself, and it was such an original take. So I'd never seen the original because I was doing Zoot on stage, and so I was working every night all through the 1978, 79, 80, 81 doing this play. So I didn't get to see any of the original. So when I read the 3 pages, it threw me into a world I'd never experienced before. Same thing that what Michael's saying right now. And what ended up happening is that it got me inside of it. I opened the first page. I read the very first page. I couldn't stop. I kept on turning the pages. And sure enough, I got to the end of the script and I said the same thing that Michael said. This truly was a gift. A gift like I'd never read before. And it was everybody was so well defined as characters that I said, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And so we went into production, and I must tell you, this is the best usage of television I've ever been a part of in my life, and I've done a lot of things in my life.
So, the Sci-Fi Channel was recently talking about some missteps it made in terms of programming, but they hold up Battlestar Galactica as one of the things that they did really right. So what do you think it was about the show? Was it the scripts? Was it the cast? Go ahead, you can scream. Was it the time it came out? What do you think it was?
I think it's a combination of those things. The Sci-Fi Network was a sub-network in the cable scene that was dedicated to a specific genre. And I think that's what they're referring to when they say that they may have had a few missteps in this rebranding with the SY, FY, and Sci-Fi.
He just finished coaching soccer, and he actually made
He's getting all his manly testosterone out of the way because he was coaching girls soccer.
I can't even believe he made it. I was expecting you to about 1 o'clock.
So all that other stuff I said down about Jamie.
As you were saying.
So we all thought that Jamie was extra effeminate. And we thought maybe it was the phony accent, but then we realized it was a real accent. No, I'm just going to say that I think that sci-fi, and I'm actually, I'm proud to have been part of something that defined that network, that genre, and I was pleasantly surprised to see them not necessarily make a retraction, but maybe have said that there was a few missteps in starting to try to take their brand to a broader audience and include so many different genres. You don't tune into the Food Channel to watch racing. I mean, there are reasons there are specific channels on cable available because that's what people gravitate towards, and the Sci-Fi Network is specifically that. And I think that a property like Battlestar Galactica took that genre to another level, to a whole new plateau, and people started to get some sense of validation for being fans of sci-fi. And you know what? There's really important human stories to be told in the context of sci-fi. So we were the first ones. They hired jokers like this guy, and I think that we had we were part of something really special, and I'm really proud to be part of it.
Spoke about this in Nashville, but I want to hear from all of you. When you read the show Bible, was there something about your character that you found out that we maybe never learned on the show? I know, Jamie, there was something about food.
I said this before, but my guy was on the Food Network. No, he was a chef. He loved to cook. And that was the wrong thing. That was his secret, sort of quiet space where he could his mind out. But that never happened. I want to know what Eddie's Bible is.
Yeah, who's your secret?
I didn't have one. Literally, it was not really defined that way for me, my character. My character was pretty much in my hands. When I took on the responsibility of the character, when we were talking about it, we knew we had to go someplace that was original and very strong. And of course, for me, strength comes through understanding your weaknesses. So I immediately started getting into saying to myself, not to Ron so much, but to myself, okay, how are we going to make this guy vulnerable? And sure enough, as time went on, he really hit the skids. I mean, I don't know how many times I ended up crying in his face. Drunk out of my mind or on drugs or whatever. I took everything under the sun. And I think it's the only time I've ever seen in modern television, kind of, maybe The House did it, but where the main character really kind of destroys and self-destructs and then ends up pulling himself through it and ends up coming on and pulling it off. He actually comes back and does become able to handle the situation. So I didn't have a Bible. There was no Bible for Admiral Adama. All I did know is that they were pretty open to all of us moving in the direction that we felt was honest and true. I have to tell you, I think of the shows that I've done, and I've done some, like I said, I've done some really extraordinary work on television. The casting of the show was monumental. To this day, I have to tell you, I got a phone call. This will be the last of this little story. I got a phone call, guys, from Michael Hogan, okay, like around a week and a half ago. And he calls up and he says, hey, Eddie, I just finished seeing the pilot in about 3 episodes, and I hadn't seen the show in a long time. And I said, oh, wow, and he starts to cry. He says, I really got to tell you, man, it's, and you know, this guy, he's an old warhorse, man. Colonel Ty was an amazing character. And that guy really took it to the max. But he really got emotionally moved by what we did. He said the casting of this show is superb. And I thanked him for taking the time to call me, to give me that energy and that understanding. So as far as I'm concerned, our characters were original. I thought that the handling of the casting was monumental in scope, and I think that everyone, I saw Leia on Interstellar. She plays the brother's wife. Really does. I'm going to tell her. I was shocked. And anytime I see one of us performing, I get very excited. So all I can tell you is that thank you, Ron Moore, and all the writers for writing.
I want to hear her scream again. Who's going to hear this? There we go. Don't be shy now. There we go.
Well, let's actually open it up to you guys now. What questions do you have?